then lordy, we found out that the woman that Blue has been dating is a Kayla. Well, I don't know. I would have lost all my money because I did pick Kayla in my final two. I picked her in my final two. I picked her and Trinika because I just did it through process of elimination. I don't know if y'all saw that video. I did it through the process of elimination, and I came up with Kayla and I came up with Trinika. And the one thing I remember about Kayla was that Kayla liked older men, and Kayla didn't mind being a little bit more assertive and chasing a man. But poor Kayla. This girl can't win. This girl can't win. Come to find out, because I was watching Kamisha reviews. Kamisha reviews, for me, she busted the story open that Blue is in jail. Blue is in jail for PPP, a loan fraud. Can you believe it, people? It really is funny, too, because I've been doing these series on No Romance Without Finance. I've been doing these for Ready to Love, Married at First Sight. Basically, what I do is I take some of the situations happening with the couples, but I really just talk about the money parts, not the love part, not the emotional part, just the money part. And on my agenda to do this weekend was to do a video on hooking up with an entrepreneur and the things you need to worry about when you date or marry an entrepreneur, because it's different than dating a person who has a regular job, a W-2 job is completely different. And I was going to do a series on it. And here we go. And one of the things I was going to talk about is a lot of people talk about they have companies, they're entrepreneurs, but a lot of them ain't making no money. A lot of them ain't making no money. And I was going to talk about this. And I was going to mention the different entrepreneurs from the different seasons. So you guys got to watch this series I've been doing. I'm going to do this video this week. But now I'm going to talk about Blue, because we come to find out Blue was over here frauding the government and frauding all us taxpayers. He's over here using, allegedly, let me say allegedly. I don't even know if it's alleged anymore. I think he is in jail, but I'm going to say alleged because I don't want nobody suing me. But allegedly, he was using a PPP money to fund his lifestyle, pay for cars, pay for personal stuff. And this is the man that Kayla ended up hooking with. Oh, poor Kayla. She can't win. She had a whole bad season, the first season of Miami, when she was tied up with Mike. And then she was tied up with lazy ass Randall. Then she says, well, I'm going to get ahead of the curve and I'm going to date this man over here in season 2. And to come to find out, he's a fraudster, a crook. It's always the quiet ones, right? Blue was the quiet one on the show. He ends up being a whole mess. We're going to talk about him some more too. He ends up being a crook and a whole mess. Go figure. The light-skinned man with the light eyes is the one you got to watch out for. Lordy have mercy. Mark Anthony was like, is Kayla just on here for some shine? Is she just on here for some camera time? Well, if she was on here for camera time, her time is up on Ready to Love. But you know what? She can get a spot on Life After a Lockup. What's it? Love After Lockup. She can get a spot on Love After Lockup. She got a paid gig coming to her. I think the little article that Kamisha Reviews had, I think he's getting 2 years. So in about 2 years, we can see Kayla back on the screen. Love After Lockup. She can have a whole reality TV show visiting Blue in prison. I think it's going to be federal prison, right? That's a white collar crime. And then they can have a whole reality show on that, because Kayla's good reality TV. And talk about getting booted off. We come to find out that, PPP man Blue, PPP fraudster Blue, ended up being the one why Jonique didn't get to stay on the show. Jonique exposed him and said, you know what? Blue was the one that didn't want me on the show so he could date me off camera. Talk about a scam. Talk about another scam. Come to find out, Blue has been scamming everybody on this show. Z came out, talk about what Kayla knew, the conversations we would be having. She would feel scammed too. Blue has been out here scamming us all. He been out here scamming us with PPP loan fraud with our tax dollars. He done scammed Zonique out of her extra episode on the show, because she wouldn't have lasted anyway. But she was saying I could have got at least an extra episode. She got scammed out of an extra episode. Z was like, I was getting scammed over here. Kayla's getting scammed. Who knew that Blue was out here scamming all these people? Who keeping the cat? Who's going to keep the cat while Blue is in jail and then fish? I know Janique ain't. I know Janique ain't keeping them cat. And he said he used to like monkeys too. Ooh. I knew something was wrong with Blue and his businesses when he told me he owned a hookah lounge and a liquor store, but he had to shut his hookah lounge down. I knew it was a problem then. I didn't bring it up, but I knew it was a problem then, but I didn't really want to say nothing about it. But who knew it was this bad? Come to find out, according to the report on the commission reviews, he took about $500,000 worth of PPP money, and all he did was spend it on himself. He didn't even really have no employees. He told the government, I got 11 employees I got to pay through COVID. And he took all that money and was over there buying fish food and cat food and going around selling on all these boats he was talking about. Remember he was saying he likes to go fishing every single weekend and sailing. Now we know where he got the money from. Good Lord. Good Lord. Who would have known a Blue would end up being the biggest scammer of all? Crooked Blue. Crooked Blue. But Janique was coming hard at him. But you know what? If I was just watching this this whole reunion and I would have saw Janique the way she was coming at him, I would have been like, dang, Janique, you kind of rough, you kind of tough. Which I always say that about Janique. Janique is kind of rough and tough. But you know what? I was like, let that dog loose. Janique was like a pit bull. Let her loose on Blue. Get him, Janique. Get him, Janique. I was all for it because he done some dirt out here in these streets. And he deserved to be eaten up by Janique. He deserved to be eaten up. I'm sorry, Janique, when I talked about you when you called Blue's a salmon a 7 and his broccoli a 3. With all that PPP money, he should have been having a chef over there cooking it in the first place. You mean you tell me you done defraud the government over $500,000 and you over here cooking the salmon yourself? You should have had a private chef up there cooking for Janique. Get him, Janique. Get him. I sure hope Kayla didn't let him buy her nothing with that money, because I'm telling you, the government's gonna be coming. They're gonna be coming and confiscating. He better not have bought Kayla no jewelry, no car, no nothing, because I'm telling you, that's all government. That's all property of the government now, Kayla. If he bought you anything, you better go turn it in to the FBI. You better go turn it in, because that's receiving a fraud and money. That's receiving stolen goods. He done stole from the government. You better go turn it in, girl. Go turn it in. And then they talked about the whole thing with Corvaya and the gold digger. And I'm telling you, Corvaya, another one, didn't learn nothing. Corvaya got eaten alive on this show being called the gold digger, and she's materialistic. She had time to think about it, and then she had time to come back on this episode. And when they brought it up again, the whole situation about spoil me, she doubled down on it. I said, good Lord, Corvaya, you ain't learned nothing. First of all, the first lesson she should have learned was that people have different definitions of spoiled. And what Corvaya tried to do was Corvaya tried to flip the whole conversation around from it being about spoiling her to talking about a generational wealth. She another flipper. What the heck? She done turned this whole route, twists and turns, to be about, well, when I said spoil me, I was talking about that when you achieve things in life and now you have money and you're doctors and lawyers, now it is a privilege to be able to spoil your kids. Well, you didn't say spoil your kids. You didn't go up to Mark Anthony and said, hey, would you want to spoil our kids? You said spoil me. Girl, you weren't that's not what you're talking about. Now you're trying to put a different spin on it. It was never about, and then she said, why wouldn't I want to be with a man who wants to have a financial security? That's not what you said. If you would have said to a man, I want a man with financial security and wherewithal or whatever else, every man would have agreed. Every woman would have agreed. That's not what spoiled means. She done sat on this show and changed the whole definition of the word spoiled. Spoiled means good for nothing. Corvaya. Look it up in Webster's, Wikipedia, whatever. Webster's, I'm old. Wikipedia, look it up. Spoiled is a negative word. It ain't a positive word. Spoiled don't mean generational wealth. Spoiled means you ain't good for nothing. Spoiled milk. Think about it. But she done turned the word spoiled into a positive thing about generational wealth. Girl, that ain't the same thing. And then she starts to talk about spoiled means someone that's not serious about their finances. I said, so first spoiled means generational wealth. Then spoiled means you want to have the ability to provide for your kids. Well, you never said kids, you said you. And then you start saying that means you're not good with finances. Because I say, no, I don't want to spoil you means I'm not good at finances. That might mean I'm good with finances, because spoiling somebody is bad finances. If you spoiling someone and ruining them and giving them things above and beyond that probably aren't worth anything, that's actually a bad finances. Spending thousands of dollars on shoes is bad finances. That don't build you no generational wealth. How is buying expensive $1,000, $2,000 shoes about generational wealth? How is spending money every single week renting a yacht on the water about finances and generational wealth? If you spending all the money, you ain't building no generational wealth, because you spending it all in the here and the now. It's so contradictory. It is a contradiction. Maybe this will be another video where I do on no romance without finance, because let me tell you, generational wealth is about spending your money wisely now so that there's wealth available for generations in the future. It's not about making money and spending it now in the here and the now, and spending it every single week on $1,000 shoes and renting yachts every single weekend to go out on the water. This girl, she didn't go back home and think about her plan. She said at the end, she been dating here and there, nothing has stuck. No wonder, ain't nothing gonna stick, Corvaya, until you change. Nothing ain't gonna stick. And then she says, she doesn't want to have to get ready. She gonna stay ready so she can be a high value a woman. Girl, how are you? People, I just can't. Another term we need to get rid of: high value man, high value woman. I mean, people throw out these phrases. I need definitions. I'm now getting to the point now where I don't let nobody use no term that I'm not clear on what your definition is. When you use a term now, I'm like, tell me your definition so I could tell you if I agree or not. Because sometimes I say I disagree, and come to find out we have different definitions. Sometimes we have the same definition. I don't know. But people need to get rid of these terms. High value man, high value woman, alpha, beta, sigma, whatever these terms are for alpha men, alpha women. Please, let's stop talking about it. But anyway, that's it. I know this video was long, so if you made it to this point, thank you so much for listening to me. And I cannot wait to see part 2. Be sure to watch my videos coming up on romance. Be sure to catch my videos on no romance without finance. And also I'm going to be doing put a ring on it. And also I'm going to be watching Love is Blind and getting that up as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye.